Stage to keep possession alive.
Huge bid, gets the target.
Great opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me? And an incredible catch. You are kidding me.
Oh my God!
One of the plays of the year.
Day number one, the National Senior Championship here in Edmonton, Alberta. Etienne welcoming you with Tyler for this live web stream. So it's day number one of the senior division. We are barely recovering of all the action we have witnessed through the last day of the junior division. What amazing two finals have we attended in the female division. Origine from Quebec City taking over Titan from Montreal. So great rivalry, great final. Origine taking over the gold in Quebec City. And so did the Origine men, taking the gold over Dino from BC, and what was also a wonderful final. So Tyler, can you present us the two teams will have a chance to live stream here today?
Absolutely. So from New Brunswick, we have Spawn, and out of Toronto, we have Danger Noodle.
Danger Noodle. Not dangerous noodle, but Danger Noodle.
You know, I ate some dangerous noodles yesterday.
Did you?
They're a little spicier than I would normally like to eat, and I'm a little concerned about later, if you catch my drift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking forward for this conversation. So the two teams are setting up as of we talk. Tyler, what's the forecast? What's the weather like currently in Edmonton?
Right now, it is unapologetically windy.
Unapologetically.
It's gusty. It's a cold breeze. It's not raining, as many players have said they'd rather have a little wind than the rain. We'll see if that actually turns out to be a good thing for them.
considering all the rain that fell on our head yesterday. I'm pretty sure all the clouds are pretty like empty as we talk in a very like anywhere in Alberta and then probably in Canada, I suspect.
In Canada, yeah.
And I know some people wish us some rain probably out east in the Maritimes. They have a great struggling with the forest fire over there, so wishing them the best to recover. But in the meantime, Spawn against Danger Noodle. Spawn kicking things off on offense, wearing the white jerseys, while Danger Noodle wearing the dark jersey. And then right off the bat, great catch by number 4, Calvin O'Neill, securing first Spawn offense hold, taking a short lead of 1 point to kick things off.
It looked like Danger Noodle was trying to get a zone set up, but Spawn moved it way too quickly for them to get a chance. Moved it fast, and you see the result with the point to open this up.
So Tyler, as you very well mentioned, there is a strong winds blowing in Iverdance Sports Park here today, and there the wind is kind of going from the lower end of your screen toward the upper end of your screen. So it's kind of a side wind. So that will definitely be a challenge for these two mixed teams. So Spawn being a mix of different cities in New Brunswick.
Yes, yeah, I believe the Maritimes only gets a couple of bids between all of the provinces, so they've kind of, Spawn has pulled from all of the major cities and communities in New Brunswick. And fun fact, you could say my ultimate career spawned with Spawn. That's where I got my start, was playing with this group, although I don't really recognize any of the players. They've clearly spawned a new batch.
We'll get back to it in a minute. Danger Noodle with the disc at their own brick line around the mark. Feeding Chow. Quickly moving upward. Number 87, Ronald Siu, taking charge of this offense old. Great one-to-one defense by Spawn. What a nice flick, but it's a little too much gas on the pass, landing out, still inbound, but out of reach of the intended receiver. That will be a first break opportunity for the New Brunswick squad.
And a great handler cut by Sue.
It was. Great execution, great reading, great decision, but just fell short on the execution. Now it's a long pass, hunted by number 2, Molly Galibois, just on the doorstep of a break point. Spawn converting not only their second point, but the first break point of this game, taking a 2-0 lead.
Huge shot by the Spawn group.
That was very quick. Just
Yes.
taking back the disc at their own goal line. Bing, bang, thank you, ma'am. Scoring the point after, what, 4 or 5 passes?
If that, yeah.
Great execution. Danger Noodle from Toronto just suffering their first break point, but still there's a ton of time to recover from that. The game is intended to be an hour 25 minutes, unless one of the two teams reaches the 15-point mark. And we'll get a short break midway through, either at 45-ish minute, depending what the score at, unless one of the two teams reaches the 8-point mark, which is another signal to take a halftime break. Day number 1 of this senior national championship. 3 divisions, open, women, and mixed. We have witnessed earlier on the live stream a game in the open division, featuring a street card from Winnipeg against Red Circus from Halifax. And we're still in the Maritimes with the New Brunswick squad. And somebody mentioned me from the Spawn organization that they like to be wet stream. Well, because they can look after that to the tapes and try to improve. But also when you try, when some of your players are trying out for Team Canada, you go for a tryout. But more and more the coaches are looking at the previous game that were web streamed to see how do people react under pressure, under the specific circumstances that you cannot recreate in a tryout environment. So we are pleased to web stream those Maritimes players that maybe have less opportunity to get some exposure. So Spawn threatening Jesse Brown with the disc, going in the end zone, but being denied by Danger Noodle defender. They will put the disc back into play at their own line. It's what I like to call the corner of death. They went out on what a nasty long flick. Wow. Was it almost 60-yard long flick considering the wind that's blowing? But it landed into a Spawn defender. Well read. Another long game here, but not even close to the intended receiver. So it will be another opportunity for Danger Noodle, which have started this point on offense, looking to get a hold. So Tyler, from your past experience, you say you started your career with Spawn or in New Brunswick. What was the wind condition when you were practicing? My perception is that those Maritimes region are being exposed to strong wind when they play alternate.
But where we were in Fredericton wasn't too bad with the wind. We've got a lot of rain. Rain happened a lot. It was often cloudy, but it wasn't terrible. I would say Edmonton has taken the cake when it comes to wind in places I've ever played.
Right.
Absolutely.
So a drop by Spawn, setting a 1-1 defense. Nice grab by number 29, Ivan Ho, climbing up the ladder. But wow, what a save! Left hand grab by looking for his number 98, Griffin Peddle. Nice save.
And it looked like 99 kind of pulled off of that defense. Maybe he was looking to let the disc hit the ground, run to the end zone for the score.
Yeah. So, was a very tight 29 with the disc. Oh,
another big shot.
Loaded disc. Two white jerseys defending that attempt of scoring their first point for Danger Noodle, but well denied by number 71, who's now running long. Jesse Brown running
shot.
The win, picking it up, but Brown, a great reading. It's a one-on-one quickly. Danger Noodle trying to stop this, but what a run by Brown, just dishing it for Spawn. Third point, second consecutive break point early in this first half.
I'm very surprised considering how much wind there is, how many deep shots we saw there. And, after the third or fourth failed deep shot from either team, you would think that they would change it up a little bit, but I guess not. Let her rip. Shooter's gonna shoot.
You're absolutely right. And one thing that's good so far throughout this week-long national championship for both junior and senior is that all the field in the Alberta Sports Park are aligned in the same direction. So the wind kind of goes sideways. It doesn't go up and down. So, and if I recall my ultimate player career, I'd rather have a sideways wind than having an up and down and having to fight. And when you do the draw at the beginning of the game, we'll see Danger Noodle taking a time out in order to shake things off from their 0-3 start right now. So, I'd rather play sideways wind instead of up and down. Because when you play up and down, then there's a draw at the beginning of the game that, might influence the output of the game when points are like marathon points and a low score game also. It's tough condition to play in, even though that's a reality of the sport. But I'm pretty sure, and I don't know what you think, Tyler, but pretty sure that most of the team prefer to have a sideways win.
Yeah, I think so. And as you mentioned, you want to try to avoid marathon points.
Absolutely.
These teams have brought, a good squad of people who can run, but if you don't, the less running you have to do, the longer you're going to do, the better you're going to do later in the tournament, later in the game. Yeah, you don't want this to be just who can survive the longest.
Those marathon ponds being very demanding on the 14 players on the field, but also it's tough when you're on a sideline for 10, 12, 15 minutes. It's about 15 degrees here today in Edmonton, but with the strong wind, it feels way more colder than it actually is. So you get cold, then you have to shake to warm up your legs, stay tight, stay warm. So it's a challenge. Well, we see number 77 from Spawn and Madeleine Dupree putting a ton of pressure on Danger Noodle receivers, and it's another great opportunity for the New Brunswick squad. Brown with the disc, dishing it back to Christensen. Nice little pass with a nice cut in by Dupuis, but kind of a mix of defensive pressure and wind. Dupuis could not get a hold on that reset pass. Noodle at their own brick mark, going long, wicked flick, landing deep into Spawn end zone, but the intended receiver, was he expecting that pass? I thought it was already very, very deep.
He was quite
expecting
deep.
it.
And I'm going to say the stall count was getting a little high. This might have just been a punt.
Absolutely right.
Which, hey, if you can send it down the field, that's way better than dropping it 10 feet away.
There you go. Now you have to defend, and the other team have to go across the upcoming 70 yards in order to score a goal. Brown with the disc, resetting it to Burns on the side. Slippery. You need to put your winter tires on that field, which is still soaked by yesterday's water. What a nice catch by Brown. She has such an impact on the game so far, putting it long with some ice patch in the end zone. Garibois still hangs on to it, providing Spawn their 4th point of the game. It's 4-0 for the New Brunswick squad.
She was pointing out the rut in the ground from where she tried to stop and just skated her way into the disc. That would be an interesting version of the game on ice skates.
That will be, as Canadian, it's kind of a natural way of playing any sport you can think of. Think of a sport, put some skate on, and try it on. Thinking about baseball, soccer with skate, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Slide tackling would get way more dangerous, though.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But I guess we'll stick to Ultimate for today.
For today.
We'll keep hockey to the hockey expert, and we'll enjoy a ton of Ultimate here in Edmonton National Championship Senior Division. Day 1 out of 4. We'll have a ton of live stream. This is today's 2nd live stream. There's 2 more coming. So we'll have 4 web stream for you. So keep up the faking that you're working, and keep on watching some great Ultimate being played here in Edmonton. Going long, Danger Noodle, floaty disc, and it's blocked, but almost caught by number 88, Brian Yam. Was he surprised to see the disc coming his way? Maybe he was a little caught by surprise. One thing's for sure, he could not control it. So it's Spawn disc. There was a call, I believe, some pick in the stall, but no arms done, fortunately. Spawn near their own goal line, looking for a 5th consecutive point to kick things off this mixed division game. Savoie resetting to his teammate Jamie Frampton, one of the captain of the Spawn quad, but miscuing. Danger Noodle in a great position to score their 1st point on the scorecard. 44. Popik with the disc, flicks it, and it's well caught and secure. The Toronto squad scoring their 1st point, but still trailing by 3. Spawn in the driver's seat by the score of 4-1.
That was Great defense by 44 to put pressure on that cutter to get himself in a position where he can make the layout D to get that. And when you're on that end zone, you get the layout D, the rest of the players are down the field behind you. That leaves you with maybe one or two of your own players. Wide open end zone. Easy to score. Great
That's
play.
what the sport is all about, creating space and taking advantage of the open space. Noodle from Toronto scoring their first point after suffering 4 consecutive points scored by their opponent from New Brunswick, Spawn. As long as I can remember, Spawn always been present at national championship. They might have missed a few ones, but you know they're always been present. So it's always fun to have as many provinces as possible represented at national championship.
Exactly. And it's, you know, when it's in the prairies or maybe in Ontario, it's a lot easier for those East Coast teams to make it out. But when it makes it all, you know, it's way over to BC, it's a little bit more of a challenge to get teams fully committed to go out to those tournaments.
One more reason to be so much more appreciative of their presence.
Exactly.
Pull landing out of bounds. It will be put back into play at the brick mark. Vertical stack by Spawn. We have seen a little zone defense yet, but nothing too consistent. Great running by 55, André Galland. Going on the break side. Nice fake by Plourde. Oh, going around, but it's turfed by Galland. So Noodle with what I believe their first break opportunity of the game. The first offense presence by Spawn was at the first point, and they have converted without losing the disc. So yes, it is their first break opportunity. Near their own goal line. Great cut in, nice continuation along the sideline. Mixte with the disc, force backhand. Resets it up, win. Nice grab by Liu. Going long, floaty. And Mixte's there. And he catches it at the same time as the intended receiver, at least from our point of view, but they're discussing who caught it first. And if it's at the same time, then it's an offense. It's an offense disc. Mm-hmm. So now they're discussing some reenacting. Observers standing by. Are they going to reach out to the observers? If you're not familiar with the observers rule, where they are active on calls for line and time, but they are reactive on any, well, in this instance, it is being caught at the same time, or if there's any contested foul, you can reach out to the observers and they will rule it out. So it seems that it was caught. It will be Noodle's possession, but it was caught out of the end zone. So on the goal line, Mixte with the disc, and here it is, a second point by the Toronto squad, but most importantly it is a break point, so making this 0-4 game now a 2-4 game. So great response by Danger Noodle.
That was great patience on the end zone line there. It is, a lot of times there's that urge to just throw it in the end zone. You see someone cutting, but he held it, he holstered it until he found something that was 100%. And great for the Spawn group to drop off of that mark, recognizing that the guy with the disc on the end zone isn't the biggest threat, it's the person cutting into the end zone.
Windy condition here in Edmonton. No rain in the forecast. Let's cross our finger. There's about 1,500 athletes taking part in that senior national championship. If you add the 1,500 in the senior plus about 1,000 for the junior, that's make 2,500 athletes. Add to that the parents, the chaperone, the coaching staff. I'd say it's about, I rounded up to 3,000 people traveling to Edmonton, Alberta for this week-long national championship event. Congratulations to Ultimate Canada and a big thanks to all the volunteers making this event a successful one. Murray going long. What a pass. Unfortunately, very tough catch attempt by André Galland, which lands on the ground with the wind picking it up. It's behind you. He went from the right with his right hand.
It's a tough read.
Tough one.
Tough read.
And the way that this was spinning, you try to catch it with your right hand. In order when the disc is spinning, well, it stays into your hand instead of looking to run away from your hand. So some technicalities that you'll learn with practice. Danger Noodle near their own goal line. Oh, it's a little too floaty. Pass picked up by the wind. Spawn countering with Frampton. Looking for an option. Nice little lefty pass to break the mark. Nice continuation and well chased and laid out by Jonathan Murray. Spawn scoring their 5th point. It's an offense hole and they're taking back a 3-point lead. So quick respawn by Spawn. They turn the disc near the break mark, and once again, when they get their get-go and they get the motion on, then they're converting pretty quickly and neatly.
Yes, they moved it really, really well there. They moved it faster than the Noodles could adjust. Just waiting to see what the observer was looking. It looked, that last point was spiked by Spawn, and I believe this is a no spike tournament, and I was looking to see if maybe the observer was going to mention that to him, but it doesn't look like he's getting a card, so that's all good.
And interestingly enough, I learned yesterday that the no spike rule applies for the junior division. It does not apply to the senior division.
All right.
I was not aware of that rule up until yesterday.
Okay.
If you want my opinion on that, well, you should apply the no spike rule to all division. Where do you think the kids are learning where to spike? Well, by looking at the senior.
Exactly.
So, I think that rule should apply all through divisions. But hey, what do I know? Danger Noodle with the disc rolling out of bounds. It was touched by one of the Danger Noodle representatives, so they have to put it back into place. Stuck on the sideline, going upwind. Wait to center it, but it's all blocked by a Spawn defender, but well caught back by number 15, Chen. Quickly moving it to up the line to Pedal, resetting. Once again, Pedal on the sideline. Nice pass, but very well anticipated by number 21, Sylvie Dupuis. Pass just behind Josh Christensen. Noodle will take the disc back, looking long, holds it, but now puts it, and it goes above number 71, Brown, but lands out of bounds for another turnover, favoring Spawn. Brown with the disc at their own goal line, flicking it to her teammate Galibois, but it just was picked up by the wind and it lands out of bounds. Noodle with another opportunity of securing this offense hold. Noodle trailing by 3 points, looking to close the gap, and the wind is picking up. Dang with the disc flick, but once again well anticipated by Spawn defender. Another floaty disc. Brown hiding it, second effort. She catches it. Resetting in the middle. Burns with the disc, but it lands out of bounds. Tyler, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the longest point of the game so far.
This, I would say we're getting up there. Certainly contention of being the longest point.
And what do you do when there's a long
Are we
point? Well, you call a timeout. To
Yeah.
refocus, this timeout being called by Danger Noodle. It's already their second timeout of the game so far. So the teams have a total of 3 timeouts per game. One for the first half, one for the second half, and one which is a floater you can take either in the first half or in the second half. So Danger Noodle burning off their 2 TOs, trailing by 3. And we are at the 28th minute of this game, which, as we mentioned, is intended to be an hour 25-minute long, unless one of these 2 teams reaches the 15-point mark.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a good timeout choice by Danger Noodle. It's a long point, and this is an important point. They want to score this one. They can't go down another break. They've got to score it, and I'm sure that they talked a little bit about cleaning up a little bit, hopefully talked a little about making some better choices. Spawn was able to make some, I would say, easy Ds on this so far at this point. So let's see what Danger Noodle comes out with here.
And this year, Tyler, is a very important year for all senior division, because it's this year that if you want to attend next year World Championship, the World Club Championship, you need to qualify to National Championship. Obviously, we'll get back to it in a few instances. So Danger Noodle with a long pass after a timeout call, securing this offense hole, closing the gap to only 2. Still, Spawn leading 5-3.
Do you think they went with the huck play?
Indeed, they had success on this instant. They had previously in the game. They missed a few shots, but still, that was a great execution.
Yeah, I'm just curious if that was send this guy deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, and I suspect Spawn will take a stab at it and say, maybe we should do something to close that opportunity.
Maybe.
Push that guy inside. But let's see how they are handling it. In the meantime, Danger Noodle with the disc for the pool. And as we mentioned, this year is a qualification year for the World's Club Championship, which will be hosted next year. So a lot of this team are looking to qualify themselves for this World Championship. We don't know exactly how many spots will Canada will be granted, but looking forward to it. Zone defense by Danger Noodle. Spawn, floaty disc, well cut, but lots of pressure. Nice
great catch.
grab for that disc that was going quickly on the ground. Number 8, Maxime Duclos. Belle attrapée. Spawn, floaty disc picked up by the wind, but lands out of bounds, unfortunately. So Danger Noodle zone defense giving some results.
Yes.
Forcing Spawn to do some tricky creative throws.
High release passes over the cup that's what, if you're playing zone defense, you want them to try that stuff.
Absolutely.
You want those throws to go up.
At their own goal line, Toronto's Danger Noodle going on the right hand side. Yasmin Ko earning some yardage, going long, but no receiver. Miscommunication. I believe Meggie might have been the intended target.
Oh,
Responding with a long attempt, but blocked by Andrew McGee. Nice attempt by Spawn, but unfortunately landing on the ground. 1-to-1 defense set by the white jerseys. Going long, it's a hawk fest. And another long block, but almost caught even though number 55 kind of juggles around with the disc.
As much as I love seeing hucks, I think these teams should maybe think about holstering a little bit and look at the short game for just for a little bit.
Fifth Hawk attempt we're witnessing, and here's another one, and this one is completed. Maxime Duclos qui sont français. Bon, malheureusement, il manque sa passe. C'était une passe pour le point. C'était la numéro 24, si je me trompe, José Nelson, qui était la cible de la passe de Duclos. Danger Noodle. Holding it. Nice, clean, inside, cut. Force is away. Throwing and forcing the handler to throw kind of upwind, but that Hawk attempt lands, behind the stands. Just finds himself between the two stands and now rolls out. What are the odds? Well, only in Edmonton. So while people are trying to track back the disc, here it is. Spawn on the sideline. Along that same sideline, 44 Frampton again opening herself up. Nice little disc movement, flicking it on the open side. Great bid by José Nelson, but it was pulled down by the wind. Even though Nelson laid out for the disc, she felt short. Noodle.
You know, when it's windy like this, I mean, I've said it before, these guys are making these big shots, and when it's windy like this, you really want to look for the give-goes, the short, quick passes, gain yards with several more passes than trying to bite off a lot of distance, especially when it's so windy like this.
Yeah, well, and none of those teams are playing zone right now. They're playing man-to-man, one-to-one defense, I should say.
Yes.
Well, we just witnessed a Gallant with a very athletic layout block. And Spawn tiptoeing to make sure the disc is caught in the end zone and not on the line. Spawn putting an end to this marathon point, scoring their 6 point, taking back a 3-point lead. Spawn 6, Danger Noodle 3.
I mean, just to kind of continue what I was just saying, like, sort of neither one of these teams have the chill. They got to find that chill button. They're all go, all gas, which is, you know, this is day one of the tournament. I don't know, probably they all mostly flew in yesterday, slept in a hotel last night. They're feeling it. This is game 2, I believe, for Spawn. I'm not quite sure how many Danger Noodle has played today. So it's a new atmosphere, new environment, and you're at Nationals. And you're on a live stream, which has to add a little bit of pressure.
Taking individually all these little incidents, I should be able to put together. It might influence the output of your execution at least.
Exactly.
And so let's see if the trigger happiness remains here in that game featuring Spawn versus Danger Noodle. So New Brunswick versus Ontario. Great.
Looked like a 360 pull.
It was. Danger Noodle quickly moving upward, crossing the midfield line. Great continuation, nice clean pass by Chow in the red zone. A little around pass, but miscued, and it was taken off the field by the wind. Spawn will put it back into play where the disc went out, which is actually where the number 98 pedal was when he attempted this pass. On the sideline, 27 Porter, one of the spirit captain of the Spawn squad, attacking the line, and another turnover. So Noodle with another opportunity to secure that offense hold. Once again, nice inside cut by Chen. Siu with the disc, but there was a pick call. It's kind of a, how would you describe, like a cloudy stat?
As this is a cloud offense. This is a, yep.
It is indeed. So there's an injury. Number 2, Molly Galibois, getting off the field on her own. But she's not 100%, so she'd rather ask one of her teammates to replace her while she seems that she's holding her right knee. Hopefully not much damage considering we're starting this tournament. Noodle with Chow going up the line. Nice backhand, but well anticipated and blocked by Seth Porter wearing the tank top. Must be cold.
I think today he might be a little chilly. He's probably got some goosebumps. We can't see them from here, but they're there.
Still, Porter resetting on his right, but going long for Spawn. Well read and caught by Ismael. But ooh, miss execution here, providing the disc back to Noodle. Quickly moving upward, licking it. Oh, she was in the end zone, but could not get a handle on it. I think it's Jasmine Coe.
Great timing on the cut. Great movement around between those handlers and the cutters. Very good. And that's what they need to score. More of that stuff.
You're absolutely right. Some bumping, but no arms done. Porter. Inside cut, attempting to go around. Tons of traffic in front of number 71, Brown. She holds a disc again after a little dish by Ismael. Going long, well blocked by Pedo. Quickly moves it on his left midfield. Resets. Number 19, Ip. Great disc movement again by Noodle. Will they be able to convert? Nice little flick. Quick dish. Jessica Chen holds it and provide danger. Noodle there. 4th point. That's an offense hold. Still the Toronto squad hanging in there, trailing by 2, but still Spawn leading 6-4.
Yeah, like we were just saying, like that. The disc, short movement, short passes, quick give and goes. You don't need to gain much as long as you can get that disc moving. Disc move faster than people.
You're all right. We are already in the 40th minute of this game. We started at noon Edmonton time, so it's 12:40. So getting into the halftime zone right now. From a scoreboard perspective also, so 6 scored have been completed by Spawn. Spawn have scored 3 breakpoints so far. Danger Noodle responding only with 1. So Spawn have start the game on offense. So Noodle will start the second half on offense, and if logic is all respected, that may be an opportunity for Danger Noodle to close the gap, at least remain 1 point off the gap that separates them from Spawn. Duclos, Jamie Frampton over the zone defense, but once again well anticipated. I think it's number 94, not 94, but 98 maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen his number. Number 88, forgive me, Brian Yam, blocking this disc, going in the air again, and it's caught by Noodle. There's a foul call on just the previous action. So Yam claiming he was foul, which blocked him from catching the disc. But hey, what a layout save by his teammate.
Yeah, it's huge. Regardless of the outcome of the foul, what an amazing attempt to save that disc. The last second, tips of the fingers.
You have to be 200% alert in order to make that kind of catch. You're just standing by, you don't know where it is going to land, and in a split second falls out. You lay it out.
Yeah, I don't think I could drink enough coffee to be that alert.
Well, I have to drink many coffees in addition of a few Red Bulls.
I think so.
All of that. And that would be good for me, neither for all the people around me. But in the meantime, so Tyler, when you're laying out, it seems so easy, and those athletes are doing it like on and on the field. And here we have a nice grass, natural grass, which is fairly smooth, but still, it hurts.
It's hard on the body, and if
It's
you don't,
hard on the body.
and there's a technique. It's not just jump out after the frisbee. You've got to make sure you land in a way that protects your neck, your shoulders, and the older you get, the more conscious you got to be about it.
And you need some explosiveness also. And in order to lay out and to land safely, nice defense by Spawn, quickly putting it in the end zone. And André Galland catches it after a nice defense and pass by Jonathan Murray. Spawn scoring their 7 point, 1 point shy from winning the halftime here in this mixed division senior national championship.
That play is almost right out of the drills that you see players warm up with. You know,
You're absolutely
someone
right.
has a disc, someone just cuts up line, you just work on it. That's thousands of reps have gone into that throw right there, I guarantee you.
That's a very great example. And but one thing that they don't do in practice is the celebration point after the sport is gone. You don't practice celebration. Maybe we should. Who knows?
We should. I mean, they got rid of it in football, didn't they? I don't know.
Right.
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Do it till someone says don't do it.
Having fun here in Edmonton during this live stream. I hope you are enjoying the show also that these two teams are providing. Spawn with the disc. And one thing that's interesting with the mixed division is that we are alternating the ratio of genders. So sometimes you will see 4 women's, 3 men's on the field, and sometimes you will see 4 men's, 3 women's on the field. And accordingly, you have to switch also on who's pulling, so it's not always the men, which we are something we have seen in the past. It was always men who were pulling, but now you have to alternate, and it's not a decision. It's part of the rules. You have to respect that ratio, and it's not only for this Canadian championship. It's an international rule. So great adjustment that was done over the course of the last few years, and it just allows the mixed game to be even more interesting. So it just gives a lot, probably more space to all those wonderful women's athletes who are just looking to perform on the field, just like the men.
Exactly. Yeah. Makes it much more equitable. A
Absolutely.
little more incentive for more women to want to come out and play.
So another timeout, if I'm not mistaken. This one was called by Spawn, since Danger Noodle have already taken their 2 timeouts in the first half. So Spawn looking to close the deal. They are 1 point away from winning the first half. And you're at this point, Spawn, well, we haven't taken our timeout. So if we don't take it, we're going to lose it. So might as well try to leverage it and close the book on this first half.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a set play here. Maybe a rebuttal to the Huck play from Danger Noodle earlier after their timeout.
Let's see what will be Danger Noodle defensive tactic in order to deny whatever Spawn is attempting to do. It seems like an isolation. I suspect number 27, Seth Porter, will be the target of this first point. It's all the other 4 Spawn players are on the opposite sideline. Indeed, Porter opening himself up. Quick dish. Brown with the disc, looking for a reset, holding it, going on the break side with a high release, but it was caught on a second effort. But there's a call Great focus by Molly Galibois, but there's a call. I believe it's number 26, Cynthia Deng, who was hit incidentally behind the head. So good thing is she's getting off the field on her own, but still holding her head. So hopefully she will be fine. In the context, while everybody's aware about the concussion, you need to be very, very careful with any hits on your head. So number 2, there is no call. It's just an injury call, but no foul call. So great focus by Monique Gadibois to save this possession. Brown going flick, and it just got on the line by Porter, dishing it to Molly Gadibois. Oh, nice layout block.
Great.
Danger Noodle
Great
saying
defense. Yes. Shutting the door.
It was a kind of a desperate layout, but very well timed. What a spectacular defense by Danger Noodle. Moving upward, trying to close the 3-point gap that separates them from Spawn. Number 87, who just did the layout block. Ronald Siu was going long, but the disc fell on the turf.
And
Spawn disc again. Now Brown passing it to Burns. Quick dish to Porter. Seth Porter, the spirit captain of the Spawn squad, securing the New Brunswick squad their 8th point, and it's another break point, which makes Spawn winning the first half of this game. So great effort by Spawn, kicking things off with a 4-0 lead to in the beginning of the game, but Danger Noodle has responded with only one break point, but does 4-0 lead early in the game. Well, they're still leading by 4 points at this point.
At 4 points. And Danger Noodle's coming out with possession after half. So they'll have an opportunity to close that gap a little bit. We'll see if they make a few strategic changes over half, or if they're just going to try and keep warm in the wind. I mean, I noticed a couple of things myself. Like Danger Noodle seem to be leaving their handlers alone a few times. The handlers not having many options. So maybe hopefully they talk about that a little bit.
For sure, they will need to adjust some of their execution since they are trailing by 4 points. We will have a short break for this halftime break, and we're looking forward to have some short interviews with a representative of Spawn and a representative of the Danger Noodle. So stay tuned for more ultimate action here in Edmonton National Championship Senior Division. Stay tuned.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 We are back for this second half of this mixed division game. We are in pool play. Spawn from New Brunswick leading 8-4 against Danger Noodle from Toronto. So we've discussed over the course of this halftime break, what can the team both adjust, and I believe we all agree that, Danger Noodle should, maybe calm down, quiet, and just looking at the discussion they had near the sideline, I suspect that's what they've agreed on. Just, okay, let's value the disc a little more. We can do that. Just need to value it a little more.
Yeah, and I expect probably a similar conversation happened over on the spot sideline too. They've got some experience over there. People who recognize maybe what they need to fix. And we're about to see, I think, if they can do it.
A zone defense set by Spawn. Danger Noodle kicking things off of the second half on offense after Spawn pull. It's kind of a junk zone defense, not a cup. Not driven by a cup, but just really forcing the teams to go sideways. But what a nice layout block by Jesse Brown, denying that pass. Oh, if that pass was caught by the intended receiver, it was the field was just wide open for Danger Noodle.
Absolutely. But luckily, she had good position, was able to make the bid, and had the commitment to make the bid.
Brown having such a great impact on her team so far. And we're far from being over. Galibois. Ismael. Brown. Nice grab by Eba Cregan. Getting on his knees to secure that. This Brown once again taking charge of things, entering the red zone, but there's a pick call right in the stack. Brown put it a floaty to number 99, Jacob Savoie. Spawn kicking things off into the second half with a break point, taking a 9-5 lead over Danger Noodle.
And Danger Noodle defender asking, where's the up call? Where's the up call? So, I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with the sport, even if you're not on the field, even if you're not active in the disc, you can still help your teammates by calling up. Say, hey, the disc is up. Maybe play a little tighter, a little help. So, yeah, that's
a great point, because sometimes when you're defending, you're staring at your player. You don't look at the disc. You're staring at your player. You don't know if the disc is up. Even sometimes with the body language, you can realize, oh, he's about to catch the disc, but sometimes it's too late. He's already engaged in the air. You're playing catch-up defense, and you get scored right in front of you.
Exactly.
Great observation.
It's always a team sport.
It is. And as you've highlighted, even if you're not on the field, you need to have an engaged sideline. Always talking to your players, especially when you're on defense.
Exactly. The most crucial when you're on defense.
It is. Sure. Absolutely right. So Spawn, that last point started with an amazing defense by Brown. Near Spawn, near their goal line, and it ended up they didn't lose possession. They just went up straight to score that first break point of the second half. And Tyler, we mentioned that both teams need to fine-tune their execution, in order to win this game, but also for the future game of this national championship.
Exactly. Early in the tournament, this work on stuff today.
Absolutely. Pull play action. Nice pass. Nice around, but just a little too short. Mickey was the intended receiver, but well defended by Spawn number 99, Savoie. Porter with the disc, the lefty handler number 27. So long pass, and it will be caught, and it's confirmed it was caught inside the end zone. Spawn scoring their 10th point. It's a break point entering in the double-digit zone on the scoreboard.
And just apologies for those on the stream right now. We're having some technical difficulties with the camera. Trying to get that figured out for you real quick.
Doing our best to fix it. Thanks for your understanding. So it seems like we were having some technical challenges with the camera, but it seems that people attending on the web stream are not experiencing that same issue. So that's for the best of everybody. So now our technical crew is all on this case. So thanks for your understanding. If you're experiencing any issues with the image right now, we're doing our best to fix it. So talking about fixing, Danger Noodle suffering 2 points in a row to kick things off in the second half. They're now trailing by 6.
And Spawn doing a great job converting once they get the disc. They're getting the Ds, converting quickly. They seem like they're on a mission right now.
Absolutely, they are in a business mode. Playing some smart, hard defense. Now a junk defense that is quickly. Danger Noodle moving forward. Maggie, but once again, way to be alert by Jonathan Murray, blocking that disc again. Execution by Danger Noodle has been suffering from, is still suffering from Gallant going on his right hand side to Frampton. Murray, floaty disc to Gallant. There was some bumping, but no call, no arms. Quickly, O'Neill putting it in the air, and now it's being blocked. One Danger Noodle player landing on the ground, but I don't think there was any call. Yes, there was an injury call. So the Danger Noodle player, I think it's is it the Chen or Ko? I'm not sure. Nonetheless, she's going off the field on her own, which is always something you want to see. And sometimes, you've been shaken, you're not injured, but hey, I'd rather give my spot to somebody else.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. It's not about being pride, it's about the teeth. So. Noodle, number 29, Ho putting the disc back into play. Quickly going on the left-hand side, but once again, Spawn putting some pressure where there's zone defense, junk zone defense, which has been proven very, very successful so far against this Toronto squad. Going backward, but still now moving on, taking one step back in order to move on, but miscue that this finds no receivers. Spawn going on the break side. Frampton to Gallant. Gallant along the sideline again, finding Plourde. Plourde retient son geste, il va avec un lancer revers pour alimenter Gallant qui monte au 3e étage, qui saute, mais il y a eu contact. Je crois qu'il y a eu de l'obstruction. Il y avait une joueuse de Danger Noodle sur le sol. C'était une belle action. Est-ce que la faute a eu une implication sur le résultat de la dernière action? C'est ce qu'on tentera de démêler avec les observers. Did the last foul have an implication on the output of the action? I guess that's the question they will be asking.
That's it. I mean, it wasn't her mark that went and caught it, but maybe the lane that was thrown through might have been the one she should have been in.
So one thing good about the last situation is that there were some players down, but everybody is now on their own 2 feet, which is something we want to see. You know, like when a player stays down. And there's some very diplomatic conversation. Gallant kind of reenacting his catch, but I think the discussion is more about what I suspect was a pick call on the previous instance. So if you're wondering, if you're interested in becoming an observer, I know observers, there's a ton of a training session throughout the country all year long, well, mainly during the summer. So if you feel like you want to master all the ultimate rules, and not only master the rules, but being sure your interpretation and the way we're applying the rules, well, sign up for an observer's clinic, and I'm sure you will have a ton of learnings. And not only will you have the chance to watch some great ultimate, but also you can travel throughout the country in order to act as an observer, because all the observer squad here in Edmonton, if I'm not mistaken, none comes from Alberta. They all comes from other provinces, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your point of view. But still, it's a great opportunity to stay in touch with the sport. Maybe if you're suffering from an injuries, or if you say, well, I'm not, my shape. I like the Canadian Championship, but I don't want the commitment of all required to attempt. And that's an amazing layout grab by, is it McLaughlin? I believe it is. What a nice catch or spawn. It's all about the New Brunswick squad in this second half of the game. They're now leading 11-4. All 3 points scored in the second half were scored by the white jerseys.
Yes, it seemed as though the observer felt that the disc wasn't a point in the end zone, that it should be replayed, go back to the original thrower, and it looked like a miscue on the same cutter, but the disc stayed up in the air enough for the player to just get in and get it at the last second. And I'll admit, I thought it was over. I thought it was hitting the ground, and out of nowhere, this hand comes around a player, and it's up in the air, and it's a point for Spawn.
If it didn't touch the ground, it's live.
Exactly.
So McLaughlin taking a hit by laying out. We've already mentioned that, Tyler. Laying out, it seems like effortless. It seems easy, but gee, it hurts every time. And just the absorbing the shock of landing. There's a ton of techniques, and but still, you're throwing yourself on the ground.
Yes.
So
and it seems to hurt a little worse if you don't catch it. If you get the disc, you don't feel anything. Right. You don't feel anything if you catch it.
But when you don't catch it, that's when it hurts.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely right.
Oh, big pull on the sideline.
Yeah, just landing out of bounds. Going long. Oh, well timed, well completed, great decision, great execution, but it just rolled out of the intended receiver. Spawn keeping the disc alive, going long. There was some bumping, but it seems like the disc was already out of reach of these two players. So no, just ensuring everybody's safe. Just clapping the hands and moving on.
You like to see the little high five after body contact. Good camaraderie even between these competitors.
Great spirit.
Yes.
Noodle miscuing on the first pass, about 7 yards away from their own goal line. Duclos will put the disc back into play. So just back ends it to Jacob Savoie for Spawn, scoring their 12th point of the game. Now 8 points ahead of Danger Noodle. And we are an hour, 11 minutes into this game, which is intended to be an hour, 25 minutes. So clock is ticking. So Danger Noodle needs to get into a comeback mode now.
I would say, I mean, it may be too early to call, but these noodles might be cooked.
14 minutes remaining. 8 point divided by 14 minutes. It's about a minute 40 seconds per point, which is It's very, very, well, mathematically possible. Realistically speaking,
Yes. Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah. I think as coach right now, you just say, hey, guys, let's work through some stuff right now where we have the chance to kind of compete and play. Think about the next one. Let's get some reps in on our plays. See how we do. Use the time left to kind of work on stuff.
You're absolutely right. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first game for both of these teams. Their second game, thanks for correcting me. So we're far from being over from a live stream perspective. 2 more games coming your way after this Spawn versus Danger Noodle. We'll have more live stream here at National Championship in Edmonton. So at 1:45 local time. So that's, there's some bumping. But hopefully no arms done. 2 players seems to wear a smile right now. Probably saying, ooh, I'm in pain, but I think I'm good. A little shaken off.
And that's the risk you run when you throw a disc up in the air in a crowd of people. And, in this kind of sport, you're looking up in the air. You want to catch it. You do your best to try and avoid other people, but it's sometimes when in this competition, you're fighting for the disc.
When you're below, under the disc, you're in a vulnerable position because if someone comes out, they will have to jump, and that's where the landing is on the other player under the disc. So you have to be very, very aware and careful of the other bodies around.
Exactly. I've been the guy who's thrown that disc and someone gets hurt. It doesn't feel very good.
Oh no.
It doesn't feel very good when you serve up somebody a dish of pain.
I feel you on that. So some discussion around with the observers. There was some obviously some foul call there. So just ensuring who will put the disc back into play. So thumbs up, great spirit. And it will be a Danger Noodle disc. 88 Brian Yam putting it back into play quickly to Liu. Now on the left hand side, zone defense again by the New Brunswick squad, which have so far scored all the points in the second half. Great this movement by the dark jerseys, looking for some rhythm against that Spawn. Oh, what a nice catch, one-hand catch. This was very, very low, but great awareness by Danger's Noodle Hanser. And there he goes, triggering it long. Great battle between Gallant and I think it's number 88, Yam. The 2 displaying a ton of athleticism, but the disc lands on the turf.
Sometimes you play the body a little more than the disc, and then you lose your read and you miss it altogether.
Great anticipation by number 7, Liu, which provides his team an opportunity to score their first point of the second half. Nice attacking up the line run by Noodle, dishing it back to Liu, which kind of lost his step, faking a big scuba, but holds it back and safely wants to put it on the right hand side to Ko, but she couldn't handle it, and number 9 McLaughlin just saving it. So Tyler, we mentioned earlier that it was a nice layout, right in a light layout score by Spawn earlier in this. I mentioned it was McLaughlin, but I was wrong. It's too close.
Okay.
Caught the disc. So please forgive me for this small mistake. Scuba by Liu. I'm not sure the defense required that scuba throw. Maybe a backhand would have done the job, but nonetheless, there's a call. Not sure what the call is.
I'm not sure either. It looked like he made the signal for a timeout, but
that was my reading.
Yes.
And yes. Is it a timeout call? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Kind of took a little. There was like a little downtime where like the teams were not gathering. I guess they were. They wanted to confirm what would be the stall at when we put the disc back into play.
That's it.
So, Spawn calling a timeout. They have called one in the first half, so they're calling the ones they are granted in the second half, and they will still have a floater timeout on their end. We are an hour 17 minutes in this game, 8 minutes remaining, and the wind is picking up. Probably hear it on our mic. Looking at our production staff, hanging on the wind. Thanks to all the media team for going up the scaffolding, exposing themselves to the weather to provide you some great action here at this national championship. Gala with the disc after a timeout by Spawn. Great reset, reaching out to Plourde, quickly moving it up to Frampton. Vertical stack. Gala receiving the pass from Duclos. Frampton quarterbacking this possession, flicking it in the space, and that's being caught by number 10 Jonathan Murray, providing Spawn their 13th point.
That was good movement by Spawn after that timeout. They did a really good job. I saw a couple of deep options go, and they holstered it. So hey, maybe they can hear us from up here. I don't know. But yeah, they did a really good job moving around. A lot of crisp throws. Low, crisp, lots of spin. That's what you want when it gets windy.
So Spawn looking to finalize this game. Will they finish it to the 15-point mark, or will the clock decide otherwise? But nonetheless, Spawn will win that game against Danger Noodle. We are in pool play. And looking forward, our next assignment on the live screen at 1:45 Edmonton time. So that's 3:45 in Ontario and Quebec, and 12:45 on the West Coast. We'll have the great privilege of sharing a game in the women's division. Tempest will be playing against Queen City. So looking forward for great women ultimate action here on field number 1. So there's 2 web streams throughout this week-long national championship. The one that's on field 1 is filmed and commentated by all the media team. And there's also the second stream on the field number 2, which is just behind us, which is filmed. You will get the image, the sound, but there is no commentating, so we're sure we will enjoy. Regardless of which team you want to follow, you have always 2 options. Great catch by Danger Noodle. Engage with the disc, resetting right in the middle, feeding Chow. Quickly the disc moves on the right hand side. Chen, 2 yards away from their first goal, but it's denied. Denied. Great awareness by Ryan Bird, saying no, not under my watch. Spawn triggering it long, and it's blocked and caught by number 44, Popping. Noodle back in their own half. Once again, Noodle Great execution, but just unable to finalize the last little point. Just a little too enthusiastic.
Danger Noodle made short work of that spawn zone. They found holes, they did give and go, they were able to open up the field really wide when they swung it, and then you see them get all the way to the end zone. Unfortunately, not getting it, but that's the type of play they need to have.
It's still great awareness by spawn defense. Another long pass attempt, but that lands about, let's say 9-10 yards away from the field. And we just saw Jessie Brown, who puts that long pass. She will hold her head after that. Oh, what have I just done? Don't worry, Jessie. You've played an amazing game. Like, don't feel bad about it.
Lots of time to correct.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're leading by 9 points, and there's only a few minutes left on the clock, so don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And here she goes, Brown running up the line, all by herself, centers it to Savoie, and guess who's scoring? Redemption from her long pass attempt, which finally ends up in her hand, providing her teammates their 14th point, 10-point lead versus Danger Noodle late in the second half. Probably around 2 minutes remaining. So we will be playing that point for sure. The observers are the one who decides upon the time, and there is no additional time, unless soccer, where the referees can add up a few times depending if there's times was lost due to injuries or to different action on the field. In ultimate, considering the tournament format that we have, you have an hour, 25 minutes. You finish your point and you're done. So get ready for your next game. So we also like to thank our sponsors for this event, Discraft, Be Ultimate, which are usual suspect as sponsors of those national championships. They've been there for many years, so thanks for all their support. It's also the local organization, the Edmonton Ultimate Player Association, which has provided amazing support in order to make that event such an amazing success. We are midway through it, and it's already a great suspect. So the disc rolling out of bound, but it was not touched. It will be put back into play at Noodle's goal line. Spawn with a zone defense, still maintaining their poachy zone defense. They are in their own goal line. Callahan alert, but quickly moving it out of that, but going back into that danger zone. Quick passes, well kept by Danger Noodle. Still Spawn keeping their junk defense, but here's the hole. McGee with the disc, fakes it up the line, but holds it, allowing Spawn to set their zone defense back. Nice angle catch, and it was simultaneously caught by the Spawn defender and McGee. Isn't it the second time it happens to McGee? It was another instance early in the first half, I believe. I think it shows two things. So McGee is a great receiver, and Spawn is, doing great defending also on McGee. So some discussion to see who caught the disc first. From our point of view, I don't know about you, Tyler, but I think it still looked really at the same time. Very hard to see who caught it first.
We're not robots. It's hard to tell sometimes. And that's the benefit goes to the offensive players. So
we just heard the horn blows signaling that it will be the last point on this. The point is the point that makes it a tie, which is not our case. So will Spawn win the game 14-4, or 14-5, or 15-4? We'll know in a few minutes. Maggie could not handle that pass. Spawn countering, putting the disc right in the middle to O'Neill. Going on his left to Gallant, quickly moving it up to number 23, Plourde. Right in the middle, Frampton dishing it on her left to O'Neill. Frampton going down. She slept, but Gallant flicks it in the end zone to number 10, if I'm not mistaken, Murray, providing Spawn not only their 15-point, but their victory in this pool play matchup, 15-4. Spawn winning over Danger Noodle.
Yeah, great game by Spawn. Tough fought by the Noodles. It's still early, and I believe Spawn won their game earlier by a similar score gap, if I'm not mistaken.
It did, yeah.
So I mean, being seeded third in their pool, they're already looking pretty strong to come out of this pool in a top seed.
Making a statement for sure. So while we're looking at it, the players shaking hands off, congratulations one another for a great spirited game, even though there was a few calls, but not everything stayed very, very diplomatic and very, very spirited. So congratulations for Spawn for this great victory, and best of luck for Danger Noodle for the remaining of their pool plays and the remaining of this tournament. Thank you very much, Tyler, for sharing the mic in this very fun game. We hope you had fun sharing it with us. There's more live stream coming up in this Canadian National Championship Senior Division. First day out of 4. Stay tuned. And, if you want to take a break, we'll have their next game in maybe less than about 20 minutes. So just enough time to go, a little bio break, grab something to drink, and, go outside through a few discs. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Stage to keep possession.
Huge bid, gets the target.
Opportunity for the Germans, and they break it.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me?